ask you, how scared should the world be at this situation? I mean, Chernobyl happened because, you know, Soviet mess up. Now we have, you know, weapons stuff, and how, I mean, can this keep everybody up at night?
I think it should. I think it should. But of course, you know, the logic of war also is there, and including here in Washington.
Yeah.
And I have to understand that. I have to understand that and still work with this in mind.
Because something happens that's going to be forever. It's hitting all of Russia, it hits all of Ukraine, it hits Western Europe. This is something that...
Yeah, I think we need to think long and hard what we are doing here.
And I was going to... You may be the last diplomat at this point. I mean, is IAEA only international organization in Russian and Ukrainian territory?
Yeah.
So you're the only ones, and then you said you put the...
Well, apart from some humanitarians.
No, but as an international...
I know, yeah.
You have the Chinese, Americans, European, everybody in...
Yeah. This is why we should protect this presence there. You know, we had like, we were, you know, agonizing for almost a month for the last rotation, only for a rotation.
So you have, what, 5 or 6 people there?
Yeah.
Is that enough?
Yeah, I would say so.
But that keeps them from bombing or any kind of military...
Well, you know, we need an agreement.
There's no agreement?
Well, you know, there is the, you know, that's still difficult.
To get both sides to... But they know that they cannot, they have no future if something happens. I mean, you just, even from a military strike or even a stupid accident like Chernobyl...
But there are some people who don't think so.
Like who?
Military.
In Moscow and in Kiev, or both? So there's a military...
I mean, and you see it.
Yeah.
They still believe that they can win this war on battleground, and this includes Zaporizhzhia.
So both sides, both Kiev and Moscow, are considering it and this is the first time in history of a nuclear power, a civilian power plant being used in a military conflict. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr.
Well, thank you for the question.
Yeah.
On Zaporizhzhia, of course, the issue is we are there. We have ISAMS, which is our mission. Our experts are there and have been there already 6 rotations, which is incommensurably important because we not only are there to inform, which is in and by itself a huge gain for all to be able to have impartial eyes, informing what's happening and what's not happening. At the same time, we engage very actively with the operators there. We are involved or are able to express our views on decisions that have to do with the operation of the plant, to put questions. I mean, by virtue of being there, we can weigh, in a certain sense, on what is going on there. My goal is to have political commitment to avoid an accident. That is my most important goal there, although we are going to stay performing all these other functions. The other facilities, when the war and the raids over vast areas of the Ukrainian territory started the past few months, towards the end of the summer and the beginning of the fall, President Zelensky requested me to deploy in all the other facilities, which we did. I think that here there's a combination of a technical assistance function and also the very relevant, symbolic, historic fact that the IAEA flag is flying atop these facilities of a country at war, thinking about things that are happening now and we could never imagine before. And we have our people there, so the international community knows, so we can be an alert on anything that may be happening. We do have also technical activities. We perform a number of assessments before coming to them. Each facility has different issues, safety-wise and security-wise, and we are working together with Ukraine to solve them through the presence of our experts.
Thank you.
Another question from in the room.
It's difficult to get to any kind of commitment when you have war, and in particular in this area you have active combat, ongoing. It's the front line, literally. I've been there. So on one side of the river is the Ukrainians, on the other side of the river is the Russians. So it is war in all its graphic strength that you can see. It's palpable. When you put ideas on the table and concrete proposals involving certain commitments and behaviors, it is obvious that it's not going to be easy. This negotiating table is a bigger one now with military. When I go to Moscow or to Kaliningrad or to anywhere, or when I'm in Kiev with my Ukrainian natural interlocutors, I have military in front of me. I have diplomats as well, and I have nuclear people, and I have legal experts, but I have, unfortunately, an ever-growing number of people in green in these negotiations. So these conversations, which are of course confidential by nature, have lots of ingredients having to do with the military activity ongoing there, and how different options and possibilities would be affecting this activity. So this is why it is not as straightforward as it could be. One could ask oneself the question whether it should be straightforward. Don't shoot at the nuclear power plant. But of course, there are a number of associated consequences that need to be weighed. That being said, I'm frustrated, but I don't dismay. I continue. I'm very stubborn.